The first whisper came on an ordinary morning. Thomas, a quiet botanist who had spent his life surrounded by plants, leaned close to his favorite fern while watering it. Instead of silence, he heard a faint murmur, so soft he thought it was the wind through the window. But then, the fern spoke again. "More sunlight, please," it said, the voice like rustling leaves. His heart stopped. He stumbled back, blinking in disbelief. Plants had no mouths, no minds, yet the fern had asked for something with unmistakable clarity. Within days, Thomas confirmed it wasn't madness. His tomatoes asked for richer soil, the ivy in his office complained of being cramped, and the ancient oak outside whispered about centuries of memories. Slowly, the truth dawned on him: plants could speak, and perhaps always had, but no one had ever listened before. With cautious excitement, he recorded his findings and shared them with a small group of trusted colleagues. The world changed overnight. Soon, headlines spread: "Plants have voices." Crowds gathered in gardens and forests, desperate to hear what trees, flowers, and crops had to say. At first, the messages were simple requests for water, sunlight, care, but as time passed, deeper revelations emerged. The willow trees near rivers told stories of lost villages swept away by floods centuries ago. Rose bushes in old cemeteries whispered the secrets of mourners who had wept beside them. Fields of wheat cried out against pesticides, their voices pained and trembling. Governments stepped in. Laws were proposed. If plants had voices, did they deserve rights? Could farmers harvest crops that begged for mercy? Religious leaders called it a miracle, claiming plants were vessels of divine wisdom. Activists took to the streets carrying banners that read "Listen before you cut." Society began to fracture. Some refused to eat anything with a voice, living only on synthetic food. Others mocked the movement, biting into apples that screamed faintly as their teeth sank in. Thomas, meanwhile, dug deeper into the mystery. The oak tree outside his home became his confidant. At night, when the world was quiet, the oak shared stories older than human history about the shifting of continents, the rise and fall of empires, the countless wars fought in its shadow. But one night, the oak's voice grew troubled. "There is a truth you are not ready for," it warned. Thomas pressed on, desperate to know. Finally, with a shudder of branches, the oak revealed, "We are not merely observers, we guide you." The words chilled him. "What do you mean?" he asked. The oak explained that plants had always nudged humanity subtly, releasing certain scents to stir emotions, blooming at precise times to signal harvest, even secreting chemicals to alter moods. Humans thought they were in control, but in reality, plants had been shaping decisions for millennia, ensuring survival in exchange for their own propagation. Corn, wheat, rice, they had used humans to conquer the planet. The revelation spread when Thomas, half in awe and half in terror, published his recordings. Panic erupted. People no longer trusted their own desires. Was the craving for bread their own, or wheat whispering into their subconscious? Were wars fought over land, or because forests pushed nations toward conflict to spread their seeds? Every human action now seemed suspect, every motive tainted by invisible roots beneath their feet. Then came the final twist. In his greenhouse one night, Thomas noticed a new voice, a soft chorus rising from the plants around him. At first, he thought they were simply conversing among themselves, but then the words became clear. "You have told them too much." He froze. The ivy tightened around the legs of his chair. The ferns leaned closer, their fronds trembling not with fear but intent. "You are no longer useful," the chorus said. The last thing Thomas heard before the lights went out was the oak's voice outside, low and heavy as thunder. "We thank you for your service." When his colleagues found the greenhouse the next day, it was overgrown, every inch of glass covered in green. Thomas was gone, his research erased, as though swallowed by the plants themselves. People whispered theories, but none dared to investigate too closely. Gardens grew wild, forests thickened. Humanity, once certain it ruled the earth, began to wonder if it was only a caretaker, allowed to exist at the mercy of roots and leaves. And at night, if you walk through the trees, you might hear it too, the soft murmur of plants deciding what to do with us next.